Good morning and welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at MarketSite, we have Alex Terry. He's the CEO of Conversica. We're going to talk about conversational AI for lead engagement and marketing. Alex, who thought AI was only for the capital markets, it seems like it's for everything. Tell us more about Conversica.
Thanks, Jill. So Conversica is a software as a service or SaaS technology company based in Silicon Valley. Our flagship service is an AI sales assistant. And what that means is our artificial intelligence engages leads in very natural two-way conversations, just like a person, to engage those leads, to qualify them, and hand them off to a human salesperson to close the deal.
Well, let's talk about the results of a study that was just released. It polled more than 1,000 U.S. workers about how much of their workday is spent on routine and redundant tasks. What are some of the findings?
So one of the surprising findings is that these 1,000 white-collar workers said they spent 50% of their time on what they described as busy work, the important but routine aspects of their work, the kinds of things that Conversica helps automate with our AI.
All right, so it also revealed that there's optimism around using new developments in artificial intelligence to reduce busy work that would free employees to focus on more creative activity, which makes sense in my mind, also helping to find more challenging and fulfilling tasks. How is AI going to facilitate that? You had mentioned, person to person to reduce some of the busy work, but what else can it do?
So our conversational AI is able to take those incredibly important but very routine tasks like writing the third or fourth email or text message to engage and qualify, and really freeing up those salespeople to focus on talking with customers, the more creative aspects of their jobs. And this is really important, not only because it helps the customer become more successful, but the knowledge worker has a more enjoyable experience.
Right.
And they said almost 70% of those that we surveyed said leaving their last job was partly because of so much busy work, this what we call the drudgery of the routine but important work.
So putting it into some context for those of us who might not be familiar with how marketing works, so and when you pitch someone, you could send out 2, 3, 4 emails. That would take, this AI platform would take away from that so they could focus more with the one-on-one, person-to-person contact.
Exactly.
That's what
right.
It sounds like.
That's exactly right. We say, our AI will help our salespeople spend 80% of their time closing business instead of 80% of their time chasing down those leads who may or may not want to talk with them.
All right, I can think of a lot of people that would
Right.
appreciate using this platform. So you also recently secured a round of funding. Tell us why that's significant and where do you see Conversica 2 to 3 years out?
Sure, we're just announcing a $31 million Series C funding round, which brings our total to $87 million that we've raised. And that really shows that conversational AI in particular is at a real tipping point. So early funding rounds like seed rounds or Series A are often based on an idea or a good story. Series B and Series C, like Conversica just raised, are based on results and scale. So we've now reached out to over 70 million people, which is equivalent to about a quarter of the adult US population. And we've generated over $10 billion in revenue for our customers. So this Series C round is significant because it really shows that AI, conversational AI in particular, is at a real tipping point, being adopted by a lot of businesses, over 1,000 companies.
And let's get it from a larger context in terms of artificial intelligence. Are we just in the early beginning phases of what it's capable of doing? Do you think it's going to be more ingrained into all of our business practices over the next 5-10 years?
So it's really, we're just scratching the surface. We're really moving from the theoretical to the practical. So companies like Conversica is taking something which is a great idea. We've been doing this for 8 years and showing that we can generate real results to make customers more successful, employees happier, and really deliver a better end user experience.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us at MarketSite.
Thanks, Jill.
And thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.